All right. How do we get chat? Oh, hey, Clay. Hey, Clay, are you able to hear the stream? This is the first time I've done this through OBS. I'm just trying to verify that everything is working correctly. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. I have a crosshair? Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you. Perfect. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get this started. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Boox Boox Go Color 7. Let me go ahead and switch this over to top down. All right. Hopefully that looks good. Along the way, let me know if anything doesn't look right, because this is the first time we've done this through OBS. Typically we do these through StreamYard. So this is the first one where we're going to try to go straight through OBS and see how it feels. So let's check it out. So again, this is the Boox Go Color 7. I don't know a ton about this device, if we're being honest. I'm hopeful that it will be similar to the Kindle Oasis, which is a device I still daily drive to this day. But we'll see. I mean, it's Kaleido, so I don't think it's going to be quite as clear, but I've been surprised in the past, so let's check it out. And, oh, by the way, they added this thing now. So theoretically, nah, it's not going to open that easily. Try that. How's everybody been? It's been a minute since I've done one of these. Anything new in everyone's life? All right. There we go. Ooh, it's tiny. All right. So as far as I know, this is the first device in what they're calling the Go series. I just realized I haven't started the cameras. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. Amateur hour over here today. Sorry, everyone. Okay, now that the cameras are actually rolling, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Boox Go Color 7, the first device in the new Go series, which I think is an amalgamation of some things from the past. So the Boox Leaf and the Go 10 is coming out before too long, which looks a lot like a Remarkable. But anyway, we're not talking about the Go 10 today. We're going to just stick to the 7 for today. But that is what is coming in this series. So let's switch back to top down. Typical Boox packaging here. Let's see, is this going to be readable? Oh, it's mostly readable. Okay, 7-inch Kaleido 3 does color and black and white, does have a front light, octa-core processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, Android 12, typical Wi-Fi, USB-C charging, 2300 milliamp battery, and mic speaker and micro SD slot and water resistant. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh yeah, sorry. It's late in Europe, I understand. I was trying to do this earlier, but life got in the way. So hopefully I'll catch you soon. Obviously this will be recorded and we'll chop it up into a dedicated video. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. All right, and the Boox folks did warn me that you're gonna wanna update this initially. So we'll do that here in just a moment. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so the back is highly textured. I think you can see that on screen, but really grippy. Whereas the Oasis is very, very smooth. It's like just a smooth brushed metal. This is highly textured. Actually, more textured than the Boox Palma, but a similar thing. So the Boox Palma on the right, it's got this kind of textured feel. I find this to be slightly more textured. I don't know. I assume maybe they tweaked it a little bit, or either your hand oils get into the Palma over time, but it's similar, but slightly different. Really nice texture. Like, I don't think this is going to fall out of my hand, which is really nice. So different from the Oasis is this is flat across the back. I mean, it's got like a little bit of a curve to it, but there's no hump. So on the Oasis, you have this little edge that your hand holds onto, and that's how you grip it. But this one is completely flat across the back, but still actually very easy to grip because of that texture. I like that. That was a good decision. All right, let's turn it on because this is probably gonna take a second. Okay, so let's take a look around the device while it's booting up. So there is your micro SD slot, USB-C charging. You've got a speaker here, a speaker here. Power button is, I guess, technically on the bottom if you're right-handed, and on the top if you're left-handed. And this other side is blank. All right, what did Jim say? Considering getting one of these based on your impression, interested in the clarity of the screen, considering the color layer, quality of the buttons, and thoughts about battery life. Well, let's make sure we get into that today. And then Scott said, is it a rubbery or a soft touch coating? It's plastic, but it feels... This is going to be really hard to describe. At least right now, because it doesn't have any oils in it, it feels like almost like a pumice rock type feel. I know it's really bizarre. It's not rubbery though, and it's not soft. It's more of a hard surface than a soft surface. But I wouldn't say it feels overly plasticky. Here, let me try and get you a sound. Yeah, it's not soft, it's hard. Okay, let's go ahead and boot it up. Will it auto rotate? Oh, okay. Auto rotate is off out of the box. And the buttons are volume knobs by default. right, English. Here, let's slide this out of the way. I read that. Y'all saw me read it, right? All right. I live in the US. Oh, hold on. We may need to lock the focus. Either that or I'll bring it up here. That might be easier, actually. These are always a little too short for me. I find 5 minutes really fast. Let's go 30 minutes, auto power off after 12 hours. All right, bottom gestures versus nav bar. I prefer bottom gestures. Eating center, back. Excuse me, eating center, home, and back. These buttons are very small. Those look good. Oh, okay. New UI here. This is cool. So let's see. So by default, it's going to take me to library. What's pre-installed? We get the Google Play Store. We get a Help Center, Neo browser. There's an AI assistant. Okay, interesting. All right, you have my interest. Please log into your Onyx account before creating a conversation. Okay, it doesn't get saved. All right, we can have some fun with this. Oh, all right, we need internet. All right, I gotta go join my Wi-Fi. One moment. All right, we now have Wi-Fi. All right, Ink Center is there, so this is back. Okay, perfect. What is the Onyx book color 7? I need to add the go. Let's try that again. So stop this. I expect to be able to hold this and it delete a word. It does not. Also, this text is incredibly tiny. Like just for those following along at home, that is the size of the text. Really tough to read. All right, let's try that again. What is the Onyx Boox Go Color 7? Oh, it stopped. It stopped like partially through as soon as I paused. Go Color 7. Okay, so like the second you stop talking, it will. This is challenging. Okay. That's not a terrible response. It took me a while to get in there. It says it's from Azure GPT-3, which I have no idea what that is. Azure GPT. Should we go take a look? Should we go see what Azure GPT-3 is? Does anyone know what that is? And I just don't. Hold on. Oh, is this Microsoft's cloud? Okay. So apparently Microsoft has their own GPT-3. Is that not showing the right thing? It's not showing you what I wanted to show you, is it? How do we get this to show? It's showing a specific window, and that's not what I want it to show. Yeah, it always shows the Finder. Let me find the Finder. All right. Yeah, we'll have to pull that up later. But yeah, it looks like it must be using Microsoft's GPT, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently is. All right, I'm going to bring this back closer so that you guys can see it again. Hold tight. You can change the system fonts in settings, system display. Yeah, apparently I'm getting old because this is feeling really tiny to me. Like here is fine, but in the AI app especially, everything is just incredibly small. Anyway, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. So thoughts on the screen. I'd say it's your typical Kaleido screen. So comes out of the box very blue. Let's go ahead and I usually try to color match to the Oasis just because it's what I prefer. And then I do need to do a firmware update. Let me go ahead and do that. Do you guys have any questions while I get that firmware update rolling? It says it's up to date. All right, well, if there's no firmware update, there's no firmware update. So here, let's go set up the App Store real quick. Speed mode's fine. All right, I gotta sign in. I'll be right back. So Brandon, we'll get into that in just a second. I just need to two-factor auth. Bear with me for a second. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and get Kindle rolling. I think this font size is okay when you're like up right on it. Like if I've got it like this distance and I'm reading it the way I probably would normally read it, it's a little small, but it's not terrible. But like if you're in your mid 40s, early 50s, you're going to end up wanting to increase the font size. It's too small. Like I'm just getting to that age where I'm starting to feel a little bit of that starting. Yeah, so Soundwave said, if you're just doing black and white content, stick with the Oasis. But if you need color, then the Go is the way to go. I think that's probably true. We'll see in a second, but I think that's a good hunch. Any other apps you guys want to see while we're in here? I need to turn the ball off. Okay, those are still in the process. We can start the Kindle. All right, I'm gonna go log into Kindle. One moment. Sorry, for those following along at home, I'm logging into Kindle, but I need one password. All right. Sorry for the delay. That took a really long time to type in. All right, let's get into my Kindle library. And let's pull up tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Oh, that's so cool. The fact that you can have color on the pages is nice. Okay. This isn't quite the same. Let me pick a different spot. I want to avoid spoilers in this book. All right, let's go to the creative act. Scott, I don't know if they do that. Well, maybe they do. I'm unsure about that. That's on me. Maybe there was an easier way there. Okay, so those are the default font sizes. I guess let's give that to you a little bit closer so that you can see. So Kindle Oasis on the left, the Boox Go 7 on the right. Sorry, there's a color in there that I keep leaving out. The Boox Go Color 7 on the right. And from like a quality perspective, hopefully that gives you a feel. All right, let's tweak these to match up a little bit better. So if we go to Regal, something like that. Feels like a lot less usable space. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, so the Kindle is using more of the margins by default. Let's tweak that. Layout. So we want more margin, a little bit more space. And I don't mind a ragged edge. Let's see what that looks like. Need to go slightly smaller. All right, there's no perfectly direct equivalent, but this gets us close. And can we fix this backlight? This backlight is, or excuse me, front light. I need more warmth. Yeah, somewhere in there. Can we try turning off the Boox optimization with the master switch? We can try it. I don't know that it's gonna make a big difference, but we can try it. Like, doesn't see me pressing this. Thought it was in there, but apparently it's not. I will say this is really snappy. Like when I tap on this, really quick. And then, okay, here we go. Okay, app optimization is off. I mean, it's still slightly different, but that's okay. This is close. But I feel like the screen's just not quite as wide. Let me see. I don't know. It's the same width. I guess the Android app just handles it slightly differently than the dedicated Kindle app, but that's not a big deal. What is a little bit of a big deal is the size of this text here at the bottom. Like that is completely unreadable. Let's change the DPI settings there. So turn the master switch back on. It's way too small. Okay, that's better. Somewhere in like the 450-ish range. Oh God, you guys can't see a damn thing when I do that. Sorry. Here, let me lock the focus. Bear with me for a second. All right, we'll set that to 450. What happens if I tweak the anti-aliasing? Doesn't seem to change anything. We don't need to mess with that. I don't think we want to mess with any of these. I don't think this uses web text, so that's not going to make any difference. And then I don't need any of this. Oh, okay, so it's going to use volume by default, which I think is what we want. All right, let's give that a go. So here, let's pull this up. Focus, please. Oh, I must have successfully gotten the manual focus to kick in. All right, there we go. So that's the comparison with the Oasis. Note that the background gets a little murky due to the Kaleido screen. You're always going to have this little bit of anti-alias. I don't even know what to call that. It's like the color filtering creates this ghosting. Here, let me bind a manual refresh button. I usually find that helps the most with this. So typically what I'll do is where I've got e-ink center on that, where I have e-ink center on that left gesture, I usually find that I prefer to put full refresh there. Let's see if that makes a difference. Well, okay, so let's see if we can get rid of that ghosting. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I'm silly. So that looks pretty good. If you're willing to do a manual refresh, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get you. Got no real complaints with that. All right, one more comparison. Oasis on the left, Boox, Go, Color 7 on the right. Yes, there are subtle differences, but you look at it closely. Yeah, I can read on that. I don't have an issue there. I do need to change the refresh though. Does anyone remember what that setting's called that changes how quickly it decides whether it will repaint? I always forget it. Oh, this is cool. When scrolling a page, use a different mode. That's good. Animation filter time. This is what we want. So let's try that and see if that does better. It's a little better. The other thing we can do is in the Kindle settings, we can tweak the animation settings. I think I have to go out. It's not in there. It must be in the book itself. Here we go, page turn animation. And page turn with volume controls. Nice, okay, let's give that a go. Why did it do that? All right, I set that filter too high. So more, turn that back down now and see if that feels better. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's pretty snappy. All right, so if we go back to the beginning of this sample, let's do the same thing over here. Here's your comparison. Sorry, I gotta like figure out how to keep the Oasis down while doing this. And also make it where you can see it. Can you adjust the brightness in the Kindle app? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So like this is as bright as the screen goes. Like I don't think this affects anything. Yeah, I don't think that's changing anything. So I can tap on screen. Do note like this little bit of ghosting that you're gonna get naturally. Again, I think you're probably gonna need, if you're OCD about this, like I am, you're probably gonna want a gesture to full page refresh. You do have to hit the correct gesture. But here, let's see if we can go back and get that again. So if we went to this page, so the cover is what's going to generate a lot of that. You're going to see a little bit, stick around. Yeah. And so if I want to make that go away, I do that. So if that's a deal breaker for you, something to be aware of. But I usually find that the full refresh does a pretty good job of getting rid of it. Oh, I clicked a link. It's cool if that's that fast though. I do need a gesture here. Let's tweak those. So gestures. Oh, Can you get home by pulling down? No, there's no home gesture there. You can rotate there. Okay, so I could do back on the left side and then do home in the middle. I think that's what I want to do. So let's go here. So I have this do the multitask switcher. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. So Kindle on the left and the Boox Go Color 7 on the right. And again, I've increased the size pretty significantly, apparently. Note that you still get a little bit of that page turn animation. I thought I turned that off. Just tweak it just a little bit more. Try like 300 milliseconds, see what that does. Yeah, that feels better. How did I manage to make this so small? Did I accidentally pinch this and mess it up? Oh, I did. Fun. There we go. All right, now how do I get auto rotate? Let's go do that. Auto rotate. Oh, this is interesting thought. So if I set up auto rotate, can I read this way and it, ooh. This is interesting to use it like this. Although the buttons need a little working in to use that way. Hold on. The buttons out of the box are a little stiff. I didn't really feel much of it this way, but when you're using it landscaped, yeah, they're hard to press this way. I think they would wear in. Oh, also the buttons. Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry, I have to communicate. The volume rocker knobs do what you would expect when left-handed. They do what you would expect right-handed. But when you're landscaped, they do the opposite of what I would expect. So I press the right volume knob, and I would expect to progress forward, and I'm progressing backwards. That feels like a bug. Like I can't come up with a reasonable explanation for why you would want it to do that. but this way, it's fine. Like I'm going forward in the book. 59, 61. Perfect. That's what we want. This way. 62%. So, but like reading this way, this is great. Like this is an excellent width with which to read. I could see myself reading like this, kind of old school Game Boy style, holding it. I actually really enjoy that. As far as I know, I don't think the Kindle can do that. Can someone fact check me on that? Can the Kindle grow landscape? I've never done it. Yeah, I don't think the Kindle can do it. So this is kind of interesting. I like this a lot. I just have to remember to press the opposite volume knob until they fix that bug. Also, yeah, the buttons are a little tough to push that direction. This way, not too bad. It's just you've got more to press with. Your thumb can rest here and really press into it. Hey, what up, Josh? How are you? You think it's in the layout settings? Okay, hold on. Let's go check this out. So if I go in here, layout. Yes, you are correct. You can turn it this way. Oh, I learned something new. Oh, hold on. Kindle also does it this way. So Kindle also does your left thumb goes forward and your right thumb goes backwards, which to me feels weird, but I don't know. I guess you get used to it, but intuitively, I would expect this thumb to go forward. Am I losing my mind? Am I crazy for wanting to press this button to go forward? This is cool though. I can't believe I didn't know this existed. Thank you, stream. I appreciate you guys. Because I would argue like reading this way aligns better with how I would probably do it. I mean, this is definitely the way like we're taught to read, but this is a better working space. All right, let's set it back. Maybe it's a lefty thing. Maybe we think inversely from how we should. I'll go along with that. Okay, so that is the Kindle app. No real complaints. Is it an upgrade from the Oasis? I think if you need color, yes. If you're just doing black and white, the biggest upgrade is right there. The fact that it has a USB-C. I think that is a big deal. The other big deal is that you can run every Android app on it. So let's get into that. So the next thing, I really like Readwise Reader. Let's take that for a spin and see how it feels on this device. I'm gonna go log in. Give me just one moment. So this is the part of the show where secure passwords slow everything down. So my apologies. I guess theoretically I could put one password on here, but I log into so few things that I really don't need to. All right. Now let's get, please. Why won't you rotate? Auto rotate thinks it's on. Okay, will you rotate? This is frustrating. Well, I guess I'll turn it back this way for now. So just for awareness sake, so the way Readwise Reader works is it indexes all of your documents to enable really quick search. And so if you've accumulated a good number of documents, like I have in this case, it's going to take a minute. And I'm wondering if the fact that it's doing all that processing is affecting the auto rotate, or if auto rotate is just bugged. Can't really tell at the moment. Did anyone else have any apps, any other apps that we should check out? I think someone said something about dark mode. Scott said, one of the challenges with the Node Air 3C is apps that only have dark modes are pretty terrible to use without constant refreshes. Yeah, it's going to be the same way on this. Because it's the same screen tech, I think you're going to run into that same issue. While that's loading up, let's check out this cover. So there is a protective cover that, as far as I know, comes with the device. I know if you buy it from Boox, it comes with it. If you buy it somewhere else, unsure. Let's take a look and see if this is an improvement. So all magnetic, a little notch right there. Oh, it's for the buttons. I'm slow. Yeah, so that's for page turn buttons. Drop it in there. Not going to close it because I assume that'll put it to sleep, which we do not want. All right, that was pretty snappy. So does it fold all the way back? It does. Okay, will it auto rotate now that I've finished loading this app? No. Yeah, auto rotate seems bugged. If I do it from the home screen, does it auto rotate from the home screen? Yes. Weird. Is this a reader issue? I'm very confused. All right, chat. Am I doing something wrong? Why is it upside down? Okay. Nope, still upside down. All right, is this all apps? Or is this just Reader? What about Kindle? What say you, Kindle? Kindle's happy with it. This is a Readwise bug. Does the AI assistant handle it? Yes. Okay. This is a Readwise bug. If I were to set it manually, yeah. If it's not a Readwise bug, it's something in how their app is built. This doesn't seem to be affecting the other apps. Anyway, that's a tricky one. Let's see if that. Now I'm upside down everywhere else. This is fun. That is not great. Let's go in and see if this firmware update is here now. Nope. No firmware update. We're stuck like that for now. All right, let's go down. Let's go back to the upside down. I don't love the nav ball. Let's kill the nav ball. All right, so we've got this article from, is it Janus or Giannis? I've never said his name out loud. I don't actually know. Anyway, he is excellent at graphics. And this looks pretty good. Text gets a little thin, but overall not too bad. Let's see if we can increase the size on that just a little bit. So inside Reader, you go to this AA. And let's up the font size. All right, that looks a little better. I like that. It's pretty good. And then again, you can do full screen refresh if you get any ghosting of any kind. Looks pretty good. All right, can we get the page turn buttons to work? Okay, they're doing volume. You can set this in specific apps, or at least on the Palma you can. Let me see. Can I do this in Readwise, or should I do this in the Boox software? This is the question. Oh, actually, hold on. We want page scroll, first of all. This is a setting within Readwise for e-ink, where it'll go one page at a time. And then let's see. I want to turn off page animations. I want page scroll on everything. And then, okay. So we still need to tweak those buttons. I think we're gonna want to do this in the Boox settings, but let's just double check that it's not in here. Kind of like headphone gestures, but a little different. It's not that. Oh no, you can't see again. Sorry. scroll pages with volume controls. Perfect. Here, let me, I'm going to lock the scroll again. Okay. Now the focus shouldn't shift on us anymore. So let's go back into, let's go to this article. And so another interesting feature, let's see how well it works on here, is you can go in here and we can set to listen.
My phone settings has become busier and busier over the years, and iOS 18 looks to solve that with a redesign. It keeps the main attributes of the historical UI, but the new settings in iOS 18 offers a reorganized and simplified experience with improved search. The main settings screen in iOS 18 still features your account at the top, followed by top used features like airplane mode, Wi-Fi.
Not bad. Not bad. You can also do that in Kindle. So if you own the Kindle book and the Audible book, you can do the immersive reading where it'll do both simultaneously. But with Readwise Reader, it does it. You don't have to buy an extra copy. It just works. And you can change the different voices. So that's the Dan voice. And then there's also the Liv voice, which is a traditionally female voice.
Bluetooth and personal hotspot. But now with iOS 18 is the addition of battery to the top section. The second section of settings in iOS 17 and earlier has been moved down with the second collection in iOS 18, consisting of General, Accessibility, App Store, Game Center, Wallet App, Apple Pay. One of the biggest ways Apple reorganized and cleaned up iOS 18 settings is by putting all third-party app settings at the very bottom under a new app section.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, let's find something a little longer. I'd like to get out of that. There we go. Let's go to my library. It's a little slow. Library, please. There it goes. Let's go to later. Oh, this is that article that we were reading. How did I get in here? I'm trying to leave. Let me leave. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I tapped on this is what happened. I was trying to tap here, and I somehow tapped on that. All right, so let's look at this article from Jamie Todd Rubin. Oh, hold on. I thought I set these to page turn. Oh. What the heck? I think we're going to have to change some of the settings here. I feel like I'm getting ghost touches. Make sure I turned that setting on. I did. Scroll pages with volume controls. It is unhappy. Ooh, higher contrast. Seems to make a difference. Let's try it now. Yeah, this button still drives me nuts. It's too stiff. So here, let's allow this to focus. This button is really stiff to press, at least initially. I'm hoping that with time it will wear in, but at the moment, it's not very satisfying to press. It's kind of unfair to try and compare that to a 3-year-old Kindle Oasis, but a worn-in Kindle Oasis has much better feeling buttons. So hopefully that'll improve with time, but as of right now, yeah, pressing the up button's fine. It's just the down button at the moment. I really feel the need to like really press it hard. I'm reasonably confident it'll wear in, but I can't really say for sure. All right, let's go into the book settings and see if we can fix that volume thing. So there is a way to set this. Other? Hold on one second. Where is it? Side buttons. Oh, okay, hold on. You can tweak these. Okay, so each app can be configured individually. You can set up a long press. What can I set for long press? So you could put full refresh on long press. That's interesting. So hold on. I have to turn it on. Oh, that's so cool. My camera just ran out of space, which is lovely. Okay, so long press is pretty cool. So like, let's say I go to a different page, I get ghosting. Let's do something that'll get us some ghosting. Yeah, that'll do it. All right, so we've got some ghosting now. And I can long press the page turn button. And it cleans it up. That's so cool. All right, that wasn't why we were there. We were in here trying to... set the side button gesture when in Readwise Reader. The side key direction changes with screen rotation. So hold on. If I am like this, does it matter? No. Oh, they're saying this does. All right, so we set that to page turn. So let's try going back. It's got to be upside down. That's not doing anything. Okay. Let's go back to settings. What happens if I set it to scroll? Okay, there we go. And then again, if I go up here, where was the listen option?
Give me any random idea and I can write a story from it. This is how I used to think of myself back when I first started to write with an eye towards selling stories. I was 20 years old, and up to that point, the ability to write, such as it was the only visible talent I could muster. Or perhaps not the only talent. I had a bit of ego to go along with it. Something I'd heard was a necessary ingredient to one who thought enough of their craft that people would be willing to pay to read it. Some people are slow learners, and in the classroom of writers, I just may be among the slowest. It took more than 3 decades of writing and the occasional story sale to teach me lessons that I probably could have learned in a year, had I...
All right, pretty good. Pretty good. All right. I think unless you guys have some additional questions, that's probably a pretty good place to wrap up. So I'll give you guys a minute. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's go change that font setting. So someone was mentioning you can tweak the font size. System display? Yeah. I'm getting old. I need slightly bigger. That's large. Apply. I typically like Roboto. What does Roboto Medium look like? Pretty decent. That shouldn't have affected anything with Kindle. Oh, okay. It does. So apparently your system font size changes everything, which probably is the right thing to do. So let me go set my font on this back. Because everything is gigantic now. Okay, actually, we need to come back. Hold on one second. So we need to go to Ink Center and reset everything. Pressing this button is particularly tough. All right, where is my, I don't think I want, okay, there we go. So I want to set that back. And then let's go into here. Set this somewhere in there. Feels pretty good. Yeah, I'm into that. There you go. All right, So that is the Boox Go Color 7. Kaleido 3, 300 pixels per inch. It's in that Kindle Oasis style form factor. Does have color. You do lose a little bit as far as the quality of the black sharpness in exchange for that color, but if you do use color and then that's helpful to you, I think it's an interesting device. It also can do a lot of things that the Kindle Oasis can't do, which is anything other than Kindle. So if you want to read something on, for example, Readwise Reader, or if you need a web browser occasionally, I think it's kind of interesting. It's again at the same price point as a Kindle Oasis, and it has a USB-C charger, which is something that the Kindle Oasis doesn't have. So yeah, those are my initial impressions. Obviously, I'm going to live with it for a good bit and see what I think about it over time and whether this button will wear in. As of right now, that's probably my biggest headache with this device and what appears to be a bug with screen rotation. But overall, I think it's interesting, especially if you want to get out of the Amazon ecosystem. I think it's something that might be interesting. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to address them in the full review. But thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Cheers.